move now to the Eastern Cape. The Enyobeni Tavern owners' court case has been postponed until the 25th of November. Sia Kangela and Vuyokazi and Devo face charges of contravening the Liquor Act. This after 21 teenagers died at their tavern in Scenery Park in June. Families are calling for justice. They want the owners to also be prosecuted for selling alcohol to children under the legal age limit. Families are also still waiting to learn the exact details about what happened to their children. eNCA reporter Ronald Masinda joins us now. Ronald, thank you so much for joining us. So obviously a lot of parents in attendance today, they still want to know a lot, but they didn't get much because this case was almost immediately postponed. What was the reason for the postponement?
Well, Sally, from what we heard from the magistrate earlier today, the postponement has been due to the appointment of a new state prosecutor, with the magistrate saying that the state prosecutor needs to be given more time to sort of study some of the evidence that was put forward in this case so far. We also understand that the defense attorney also needed a bit more time to also look into some of the allegations leveled against the Ndevus and also speak to Mr. Ndevu with regards to some of these claims. But what came out today was just the families just continuing to grieve, continuing to ask many unanswered questions, many of them still believing that what led to the deaths of the children is certainly not what the Eastern Cape Health Department came out with the report that suggested that they may have suffocated from that tragedy. But the parents themselves, I mean, weeks and months after this tragic event, there's been a blame game, some blaming the Eastern Cape government for what took place, some blaming the owners, saying that, you know, although they're now facing 2 charges of contravening the Liquor Act, that they were continuing to promote underage drinking way before this event unfolded. Some even blaming the police, because some in those communities like Scenery Park have been saying that they've been bringing these issues up with the police for years now, and nothing much has been done. We understand that Enyobeni Tavern opened around during the harder lockdowns, and since then a lot of people from those areas have been complaining. But the parents themselves are saying that they've been victimized. They've been blamed for not looking after their children during those hours. Some saying that, you know, a youngster as young as 13 years old, why should a youngster that young be partying the early hours of the morning and drinking during those times? So parents are still grieving, still asking questions and are hoping for answers. But one parent, Kuleki Lengandane, says that he is hopeful that justice will be served finally. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
It's been hard. It's not been easy, as you know. I mean, for 21 kids to die and then things just get normal. It doesn't happen like that. It's not been easy for us, but we are praying people. We are praying to God to give us strength so that whenever we come to the court, we come as a team, we come as unity, as these parents, to see justice done for our kids. All right. Well, the one that we are on today, it was charged that were pressed by a liquor board. The other charges are still not before the court yet, but I believe there will be other charges that will come before the court, the criminal charges.
Yeah, so it's slow progress, but we may see criminal charges coming soon, which I think is obviously what parents are looking for. Ronald, you know, this issue of how these children died, I mean, it is astonishing that the parents have not been given the details. We were told at the time, oh, well, this is not public information. But if the parents themselves feel they don't actually understand what happened to their children, that makes it very difficult to get closure. Did you get a sense that they'd been given more details than they're sharing publicly? Or are they simply still at a loss as to what exactly happened in that tavern?
They're still at a loss, Sally, because a lot of these things happened at such a quick like short space of time for them, because in as much as they did receive some form of support from the Eastern Cape government during that mass funeral that was held, with also AVPOP coming to the party with those many saying empty coffins, but they are still at a loss for words. They don't know at this stage as to where to go to get those answers and get those conclusions. But one parent certainly says that one of the pluses during this mourning period is the counseling that they have been receiving. We do know that the SA Human Rights Commission here in the Eastern Cape has been quite helpful in supporting the parents, even going as far as saying that they will even help them during their legal battle. So parents feel that although they are getting a bit of support, but it's not enough, Sally, in terms of giving them that sense and that closure. We spoke to an aunt of one of the deceased earlier, and this is what she had to say.
Yeah, thank you to South African Council of Churches. They are doing a great job for us. They are giving us psychosocial support. Bishop Paul Verrein, coming all the way from Joburg, doing all the necessary precautions in terms of psychosocial support. So because of them, we are able to stand up even though we are feeling tired and not much stronger.
All right, so the Enyobeni case back in court on the 25th of November, possibly by then, as some parents are clearly hoping, will see criminal charges laid against those believed to be responsible for the death of those children. Thank you so much for that update from the Eastern Cape, our reporter Ronald Masinda.